Hello, my name is Clement Lee, and welcome to my Gravit Designer tutorial. This is phase 3 out of 4. If I finish phase 4 and there's things I need to add, I'll just add another part and just whoops. Uh, in phase 2, I've come to the realization that, there's not a lot of there's a lot of features in Gravit Designer, and there's not a lot of time I set aside for the tutorials. I set myself like a time limit of about 1 hour. If I go over, then it's okay, but 15 minutes, maybe cut it there, you know. Like, if there's 4 phases, I can't get through all the features in 4 hours. That's why you can see that there's a link for tutorials right here. So if you're doing something specialized, then maybe I'm not the person to get you specialized help, but I can give you a foundation as to basically the basics. And after phase 2, maybe you can start doing things on your own. Maybe you don't think that this is useful anymore and you just want to try everything yourself, and that's completely fine. Uh, I just want to help you, and if you quitting early helps you better, helps you more, then I'm 100% down with that. Now, this is part 3. We learn about text, blending modes, opacity. Oh, that's a review. Uh, Auto smoothing, more complex waves, tessellations, and three-dimensional shapes. If I think of anything more, then I'll just add them. Uh, I've been on the documentation because I really haven't been using blending modes very recently, and I figured out quite a lot of things actually. So they have lots of formulas, some mathematical formulas, and this is where the point in the tutorials where everything gets mathy. I found this article but at boardpanda.com. I'm not regular to this website, but I thought it was interested, clicked it. I think that this is worth a look. They look pretty nice. Uh, Anyways, let's push this to the side and let's work on our thing. So as you can see, 1024 by 1024 canvas, as that's my favorite number. You can choose any width and height you want, and you could do whatever, but this is my preference, and there is a preference which I should have told you about a very long time ago, and I'm pretty sure you would hate me if I revealed it right now, but I really meant to reveal this in phase 1, but I wanted to get started as quickly as I could, and I kind of rambled, so I'm going to go edit, settings, and as you can see, there's a light theme which is the default, but there's also an option for a dark theme. So, welcome to the dark side. There is, I really don't prefer dark theme, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to, from now on, since this is the third part out of 4, I'm going to use this dark theme so that potential people who prefer dark theme don't complain about me using light theme. I know that people who use dark theme like to complain about people who use light theme, so I'm not really risking anything. Anyways, let's start to talk about blending modes. So, basically, all we've been doing so far is been using the normal blending mode. It's when two colors, two layers, two objects, when they overlap, the color that's in between is just the one that's on top. So we take this color and we take the color in top where it intersects, and it just takes the one in top and ignores the one on the bottom. That's pretty simple understanding. But there are loads of other blending modes, and I suggest that you look through them. Now, let me delete this actually, and let me make a black, yes, a black rectangle. And basically, what we have here, we're making a circle, and let's make this red. So 255 red, 0 for the green, and blue, 0 for the blue. So 255 is the max, and you can see that it's in the corner here. 255 is the max because there's 256 values. 256 is a power of 2. I don't know how to explain this, but it's a mathy thing. If I change this from normal to add, I already know what's gonna happen. This left part's gonna be red, and this right part's going to be white. See? And what happens is we take this, so this color is black. 0 for the red, 0 for the green, 0 for the blue. And this one is 255 for the red, and I've already went over this. White, on the other hand, is 255 on all of them, so it's maxed out. So what they do is they take this color and add what's underneath. So if there's a black underneath, it adds black to red, and black has nothing. Black is 0, so adding 0 to any color will get the original color, so it's red. But white is like infinity basically. It's the max. You can't add to the max, so that's why there is no change. It's still white. White plus red is white. And people would say, oh, white plus red is like pink or something. And I can show you an example. So let me turn this back to normal. And we can see that if we turn down the opacity, it gets a pinkish color. But blending modes and opacity are different things. And that's something you have to realize. It took me a really long time to realize this. Let me save this actually. Hopefully I have nothing. Okay. Phase 3. Have I? Oh, there's no space. Okay. And so, yeah, gravit, whenever I first got gravit, it used to not annoy you about this sort of stuff, but now it annoys you to save your work. But I think that's a good thing. Now, what we're going to do is talk about blending with adding. So we can see red plus red is red because the only thing which we're adding is the red, and the red's already at the max. Let's do it into something, a better color, like green. I already know that it's going to be yellow. So we have yellow here as the middle. And if we have it as blue, then red plus blue is magenta. If we have this as green, green plus blue is cyan. So I'm pretty sure you know what I'm trying to do right now. So we duplicate this, and we move this here, I think. and then duplicate again. So we get all this, and we press delete, 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 and then we have all of this, and we rotate it here. So we get this Venn diagram with 3 of them in it. And then I'm gonna turn this to red and see what happens. So now we have a mix of the 3 previous things that we've made. So we have red and green where they intersect, it's yellow. Where red and blue mix, it's cyan. Where green and blue mix, it, oh my god. This is yellow, cyan, and magenta. I'm sorry for any confusion. Oh yeah, this is white. Red plus green plus blue is white. This is the additive model. If we go into here, Control D, and move it out here, you can see we can't see anything because white plus nothing is white plus anything is white. So let's switch this to subtract, see what happens. We get something really weird going on. I honestly don't know what I was gonna go with this. What if I just turn this to the composite colors? Yellow, green, wait, no, cyan, magenta. Yeah, this isn't working, this is not working. There is a way that I can get around this, where I duplicate this, move this to the side, and then take a copy of this, Control Shift upwards to move this rectangle to the top, turn this white, and then click difference. So this is how we get the inverted colors. So this is the CMY color wheel. I guess you couldn't really call it a color wheel. It's more of a mixing scheme. I don't know the words. Now, what did this difference do? We put this white thing on top and we selected difference. What does difference do? What it does is it takes the RGB values of the color and it subtracts basically and finds the difference. So basically it inverts all the colors. So with here we would do 255 minus 0 is 255, 255 minus 0 is 255, 255 minus 255 is 0. And then if we get 255, 255, and 0, we would get yellow. And yellow is the color right here. Let's make something with this new model. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click this bottom left corner with my pen tool, go up to the top, and find the words in the middle. No, you know what, I'm just gonna give up on that. I'm gonna make it small. I'm gonna turn on the grid and set it to 64 by 64. And let's make this with the pen tool. I shouldn't need to help tell what buttons I'm pressing now because this is all review. I should have covered these in a previous lecture, in a previous video, if I haven't, oh well. Yeah, pen tool is P. Anyway, so we have white, and we disable the stroke, and then we do difference. Wherever it is. Yes. So what happens here? We have 255 minus 255, that's 0. Then 255 minus 255, that's 0 again, and you know the rest. So 0, 0, 0 is nothing, which is black. And if I duplicate it again, you can see that we have the same path on top of each other. So basically 255 minus 0 is 255, and you know the rest. We get white. Let's delete that, and let's turn off the grid. Let's Control D to duplicate again. Press Alt and Shift, and then slowly push it in and release. Control D, Control D. Keep going until you feel like you've got enough triangles. I have probably like 8 or something, 16. I have no idea. I have this much. That's quite a lot. And let's group this, and let's duplicate it. And as you can see, it's still, it all wants to be white. But there are some outlines you can see. That is just for rendering glitches. Let's press Shift, rotate it, and we can see we have this strange effect. You can kind of see like a checkerboarding pattern right here, and I really love this effect. I accidentally discovered this maybe a few months ago, maybe last year. I have no idea. It was a long time ago, I think. But yeah, I really wanted to show you something like this, so that you can kind of have something that looks mesmerizing, but you can also kind of wrap your head around it. Let me look at what I need to create now. So, let's see. Yes. Let's go to something a little less epic. So, waves. You remember them. This is just a review, honestly. You can kind of skip this part. Oh hell. What? So click, hold, Alt to break it. Click, and just break, break, break. And that's how you get like the hairy sort of thing, like tufts of hair. Or we can go and have fighting waves where it's just down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Something like that. So the points look like this, where these things kind of fight each other. They go in opposite directions. These all kind of push all to the right. I really don't believe that we've been through these. Just pump up the thing so it's more visible. Oh, something interesting. You can kind of see that it doesn't really want to render this part. I think that's quite funny. Maybe that's just like, maybe I need to delete the fill. No? That's strange. I'm pretty sure that if I turn this to round, then I need to change the end so it matches. And we get this weird artifact. Not sure if it's popping up. If we zoom in, zoom out, it's gone. It was never there. So, what else should we tackle? It says on our thing that we need to go to a text first. Now's the perfect time for me to put in my plug. This is my username, and On Discord, my thing is 72, my little tag that Discord has. You can change the color. I honestly don't like to change the color. Let's see. And then, yeah, I like to have it white and have a black border. I feel like that is the best, it's the most readable. You can just slap a white text with black outline anywhere, honestly. Though sometimes if you can kind of see like how it kind of digs in, or there's like some weird stuff going on here. There's a bit of interference that I don't really like, but I don't think it's too noticeable. I think it's the. I'm just going to assume that it's the fault of the. Not the renderer, but maybe the font itself. I actually have no idea how to fix this without turning this to a path, but I will not do that. Uh, oh, maybe I should. Maybe I should for the sake of it. Uh, but I want to keep this editable as text. So to fix this dilemma, I'm gonna duplicate it with Control D and then hide the previous one. So only one version remains, and I'm going to convert this to a path. If you can see, the little keyboard shortcut picks up. It shows up, but I've never used a keyboard shortcut in my life. If you can see that, I guess the little artifact is gone. Never mind. I think this is a bit laggy, don't you think? I think it's this, honestly. I think that this, let's just hide it for now. Because blending modes, honestly, are a bit laggy. If you apply blending modes, then that is something you can expect. Now, I didn't really prepare that well for the for this tutorial, honestly. So in the next one, the one with the cursors and the 3D objects, I might make a few mistakes, but bear with me. So this is a plus. As you can see, I made it with a grid. If I select them all with the subselect tool and press this mirrored, we get this funky looking flower-ish shape. I don't know what shape to call this. I've realized that you can do this with any shape. So, whoa, okay. If we do this to any path, and you can see that I accidentally made a small curve, you could just straighten it out. You could just click all of them and press this, and then mirrored. You get weird shapes most of the time, but sometimes you get beautiful shapes like this. Why is this here? It never happened. But yeah, most of the time they look disgusting. I do not like the look of this. I figured out that if you do have just 90-degree turns, then it ends up looking very nice. So let's select this all, straight, mirrored. So it looks very curvy. I am not sure what this is called, if this is something. I'm not sure if this is a math thing or not. I think that Gravit is yelling at me. It's like, please stop. These blending modes are giving me pain. I'm going to hide that for now, just so that, like, I'm gonna unhide them later, so that you can kind of see at the end. But I think that me moving them around is making it kind of laggy. I'm not sure what is making the lag. See? Oh, I guess that I'm just gonna have to deal with this. Whatever. Let's continue. We're going to do some cursors. If you can see, we have a cursor kind of looks like this. But whenever I draw using the grid, this side is inherently shorter than this one. So, let's try maybe this. This side is now longer than this one. So, we're always in this sort of dilemma. One of them is always longer. This one's longer and this one's longer, no matter what you do. So, how do I fix this? Well, first we have this, and then we duplicate it, move it 45 degrees and flip it, and then move it so that it touches the tip right here. So if we delete both the fills, you can kind of see that it overlaps. Let's undelete the fills so that you can kind of see, change the fills to something like gray or something. And let's press combine and let's hope that everything goes good. Oh, everything goes good. Let's duplicate this and let's see how well it does in converting this back to a path. Which I kind of doubt, but let's try. Oh wait, what? Does it really work? Oh, we get this little weird point here, but wow. Last time I filmed this, I had a lot of trouble with this. I have no idea. Maybe it was a bug and they fixed it? I have no idea. But then again, last time I filmed this, dark mode wasn't working. So, yeah, that's a surprise. So now this is the same length. We don't have to really worry about that. Let's make this really dark and yeah, not black though. Okay. So I'm really happy right now because like this hasn't been working last time and now it is. And let's see. Yes. We've got to move on to tessellations. I think that's everyone's favorite in this. Let's turn these to, let's try 16. You can change it to whatever dimensions you want. I just like 16 because it's a power of 2. And we make an arrow like this probably. I think that's how you make it. So 2 squares, 2 by 2, and then 2 half squares or something. I mean triangle. And then let's try making it green. Blue. Yeah, let's try this. And duplicate it, and yes, perfect. Okay. So you can see, I'm assuming that the length of this doesn't really matter actually. And press duplicate and keep going on. I hope that this is made okay. Let's delete this one. And let's press duplicate and keep going on. I think that's good enough. So we have this sort of mass, and honestly we do not need the other part. We could just do the lazy way out and do this basically, and make control shift down to push it to the bottom, and then let's color pick this using the eyedropper. And then let's slide it to, let's say, green. And boom, we should have this. There is a reason why I don't like having extra arrows, and one of the reasons is that the more objects you have, the more it starts to lag. And I already put like 16 objects here, so I'm not risking it. Anyways, but let's try. Let me show you why I don't do it personally. So you can obviously see that there's a bit of interference here when it's 8, or whenever it's anything, but it gets more prominent as it gets to 8, I guess. And if I duplicate this and move this upside down, oh, it doesn't really like that. Control Z, 180, and move this here. Oh, I think that whatever I think I was anticipating a bit of interference or something, but I guess that, no, it's just, I don't know. I was having a problem with interference before, but I don't know. Let's just create a clip, and that's going to be our first tessellation. I'm not sure if having this available will keep this laggy. It's been lagging, and I'm just sad about that. Whatever. Anyways, let's get on to the second tessellation. Actually, let me hide this then. We'll unhide everything. Nah. We can try saving this and closing and reloading. Hopefully it gets better. I think this is a bit better. Okay, let's get on to the second one. The second one is hexagonal-ish. Let's go down. I don't really remember this. I think it goes like this. Maybe like this. Yeah, this goes like this. Okay. Duplicate, move upside down, and move here. So we get this mass right here, this cell. We duplicate and keep moving down the line. And then we duplicate here, move this here, duplicate this, move this here, and then you know what to do. Oh, before I do anything, let me color this. Let's color this red. And let's color this okay, like that. Perfect. Okay, now we duplicate this and move this down, and then, you know what, I don't need a duplicate anymore. I think this is good enough. But before we finish this tessellation, a few things you can put in mind. You can stretch tessellations and compress them, and they will stay. There won't be any gaps. If there wasn't any gaps at the start, there won't be gaps that appear whenever you do any transforms. And let's do transform by clicking here, and let's skew it a bit. Let's try 30. Applied. Let's try it the other way. So Control Z, and then transform, and then let's try -30. or maybe negative 20. Apply. Interesting. I think this looks better. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. If I go to my original, this is what mine looked like. Originally, it doesn't have to look the same as long as you understand the concept underneath. And I will actually I won't put a clipping rectangle around it. I'll just keep it like this because it looks cool on its own, honestly. Let's zoom out a bit and let's place everything now that I have everything. Okay, so we have this. Oh, wow. If I move this underneath partially, you can kind of see a bit of yo. Because if the concept was here is that white inverts what's underneath, so we have white, black. But I forgot that if you have anything underneath, like, then it's that's wonderful. I should have thought of that, but whatever. It's too late. Uh, Let me shrink this down a bit. And then we have rendering artifacts sometimes. That's just a gravit thing. Let me move this here. Let me move this up. And let's just reorganize. And you can see that little flash. That means gravit isn't happy at me. It's like it doesn't want to be rendering all this. Let's get to 3D objects. Now, I'm pretty sure that's the moment you've all been waiting for. So, let's just start. First, we've gotten a little introduction here with our little steppy ladder. Let's start and create a copy right here. I should have duplicated that, but I'm stupid. And let's make a crossbar right here. Make a vertical bar that connects here. And let's color this. Let's start coloring. So, light gray, darker gray, and let's duplicate this and move this down here. Aligning is a pain because I have so many objects. You know what? Let's try again. Duplicate, and move this. Boom. Okay. And if you can see, if I have this, I can move this right here or right here. And if I select all of them and then select this, I have this. And you can kind of see from the preview what's going on. Let me delete this. This was just a frame. So we have this shape and these 4 shapes that make it look 3D, but it's not really 3D. So we have these 5 points that kind of control the angle. So if you kind of see, if we go past this kind of point, the illusion fades a bit. I think we can fix this if we have these 2 layers on top. Let's try it again. Select all this and then select this. Let's try here. Well, yeah, this one is not on top. This should be on top. And now the illusion is turned back. It's back. So we have this, this, and this, and this. Okay. Why is this so hard? Okay. And just, yeah, that was the point of the entire thing. You could just select all of this and move this really far or whatever, and just have it any angle that you want. Then we have this is what we call I don't know if it has a name, but it has no points. It has no vanishing points. There's also another version of 3D which also has no vanishing points. It's called isometric view. So if I switch to isometric, I'm gonna change the size to 64 because that's what I always do. Let's try having it 32. And let's make or attempt to make a Penrose triangle. I'm assuming that this might be longer, and with this we can duplicate and rotate 30 degrees and move this here and press Ctrl D again, and we should have this figure. Wow, it aligns perfectly to this. That's the miracle of grids, I guess. And we can just move this wherever we want. Sometimes we can kind of see that aligning is a bit of a pain the more objects we get. There is no worry. If we press D, select all of this, and select one and move it around, it moves everything else along with it. So let's move it here probably. And let's just have some generic colors. Just dark gray. Let's have it actually more fun. Why isn't this okay? Let's make this green. And then a redder version of this. Yeah, let's do Halloween colors. Oh, this looks cute. Green, pink, orange. That's actually a nice color scheme. I've never thought of that. There are, whenever I'm looking back at what I made before, I am absolutely unsure how I made these two figures. I remember making them, I just don't remember if I know how. I remember that the sofa, is based on the game Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. There's an obstacle that looks like that's a sofa, and I wanted to remake it. I think it went like me making this piece and then this piece, and I don't really remember the rest of it, but I hope that I remember, or else this is gonna be a bit embarrassing for me. If I don't remember, then that's gonna be a pain. Just watch me struggle and get a laugh out of it or something. Okay, I think that's it. Okay. And then the last piece goes here. And then Control Shift up to make this. So perfect. So we get this piece here. Yeah, this is totally not looking like what I had originally, but who cares? This is, oh my god. This is just going to be a different angle, I guess. Also, I hope you've noticed a problem that has arose in all three. So if I pump up the thing, you can notice, just like the Christmas tree or the regular tree in phase 2, that there's a bit of interference going on. So how do we solve this? Now, I'm gonna use the same trick that we've been using before, which is using a clipping mask. I'm not sure if there's a better way to do it. Well, obviously you could just use you could round the corners, but I think that's just the lazy man's way of doing things, honestly. Let's push this to the back with Control Shift down, then select everything and click clip. And now we get these little things, and let's see. Okay, it looks a bit strange without the little parts underneath here, but I think I know just the thing. So let's set this all to let's say 16, and then I set this to 16 as well, and boom, it looks completely natural. Same here, you can kind of see that there is a bit of fighting going along the edges. I'm gonna go back to isometric mode and make a path along the outside of the thing, push it back with Control Shift down arrow key, and then delete that. Select everything and then create a clip. Now, this has a hole in it, so if I change the color of the canvas, we can kind of see that the hole doesn't update the color. You can always change the color, I guess, but the best, most efficient method is just make it transparent, this path. So the path is transparent, but it's clipping in the three paths. And then we could still have the border. So the border width is 13 here, so we need to change this to 13. And boom. So now whenever we change the color, it's perfect. Now, I'm not gonna bother with this interference. Like, I know it's gonna be a problem here, but I'm just gonna ignore it by rounding out the corners, because I'm kind of a wimp, basically. And I'm going to make this more couch colored. Let me change the color back to white for the background. So the ones facing the front must be the same color, so let's make this brownish. The ones here must be facing, the ones that face the top must all be the same color. So let's make this a bit lighter because it's probably facing the sun. Oh, this should be the same color. And then these should be a bit, yeah, something like that. Then you're like probably thinking that this still looks kind of lame because it's just like the first example. Well, we have the transform. So the transform that we did on this, we're gonna do the same thing here. Just a skew. Let's try -20 because it's like this. And that looks kind of bad. If it looks something like this, that means that you should have done it in the other direction. So make it positive 20 this way. And apply. And it looks better, I guess. And let's just rotate it. And we've gotten this funky looking chair. This is the reference image. I am unsure what I did. I think maybe my problem is that I made it a bit too high. I have no idea. But the concept's the same. It's just a different angle. Now, the concept for the checkered cube right here is similar, but I'd say not the same. Let's turn on the grid again, because the grid is the lifesaver. And let's make let's turn down this. So let's make a white. God dang it. Okay. Yes, white. White. Okay. And let's make this black. And let's make this purely white. And then we have duplicate and duplicate. Move this to the top. And let's invert these colors. Let's make this all black. And then make this section white. So, unfortunately, if you can see the original reference, these two are kind of touching, even though they're white. I wanted them to be kind of like black touches white and white doesn't touch white, but unfortunately we can't have everything we want. Usually I would have done like a trapezoidal, a parallelogram, but and just had it like this, but I have a secret way which I'm going to teach you to distort these images, and it's the skew once again. So let's change the anchor point to like the top left, I think that's how it works, and change the x to 0 and the y to, I think, -45. If that doesn't work, then 45. Yes, -45 goes upwards. And then we need to skew this one so it goes to the right. So let's select all this, transform, click the bottom right corner, set the y to 0 and the x 45, apply. Well, I guess the answer was -45. -45, and apply, and apply. So now we've got this, but it doesn't look realistic. How do we make this look realistic? The solution is to select everything, transform yet again, and let's do something like 10, probably. Apply. And let's apply once again. And we get this little, it looks realistic enough, I'd say. And then let's make this gray and push this to the bottom with Control-Shift down. So that's one of the main takeaways of this lesson is the Control-Shift down and the Control-Shift up for layering. And I'd say let's move around a few objects so that we'd have more space. And I'm going to press Ctrl G to group this object. So every time I wanted to move it, I don't have to select all the parts. And then this is already a thing. Okay, interesting. So we have a few more spaces left, and I really wanted to devote some space to some more mathy stuff. And let's turn the grid back on, and I'll show you a few things that I've been wanting to add to this. So, let's start with a square. You no longer have to press shift because it locks to the grid. Control D, move this here, and make this about maybe like this. Yes, so 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. So recognize this ratio, and then make this, let's say, pinkish. Duplicate it, move it so it's this away, and set this to 180. Then turn this to purple. Then duplicate this, set this to green, I guess, and rotate this by 90. And what do we have here? We got a weaved looking thing. I'd say looking because it only appears like it's weaved, but it's not. And if I do center, we can kind of see that there's no interference. And that's good. Interference usually happens between acute angles, and since this is all right angles, this is no problem. Let's turn off the grid for now. Let's duplicate this one and move this. Let's extend it. Let's move it to the side and move this and slant this. Press Ctrl D. Oh, whoa, whoa. Interesting. Interesting. What did I do? Did I do any weird transform? Did I do any skewing? Huh, that's strange. Okay, so duplicate this and just move this and rotate this to duplicate, and then move this here, duplicate again, so we get this little formation. I want to do some weird nesting, so something like this. So we have an interlock. So this is below this, and this is below this, but I want this part to be underneath. So let's make them different colors first. So let's make this purple, and let's make this pink. So I want this part, this pink part right here, to be underneath the green, but that's literally impossible because if I move this down, then it will be underneath everything. So I need a way to kind of cheat the system the same way that I did here. And the solution is to duplicate this one on the bottom, Control Shift up to move it to the top, and we're going to introduce a small little tool to help you on this journey. It's called the knife. And oops, what did I do? Oh, I pressed the pen, I guess. K for the knife. Select this, K, and then click, hold, and drag, and you get this little point right here. Press delete, click it again, press delete, and click here to add point, and then select both of these and press delete. So what we have at the end is this. So if you kind of hide this, you can kind of understand what the illusion is. The illusion kind of fades, but it's an interesting way to fix things. I call this stitching, but I'm not sure if there's an actual name for this. Okay, and then let's see. What other concepts should I show? We have a square, and let's set it as a gradient with red to black. Now let's duplicate this, rotate this 90 degrees, turn this one to cyan to black, and change this blending mode to add. What we end up with is blue, red, white, and black. So the black here is because black plus black is black. Here's because black plus red is red. Here because black plus cyan is cyan. And red plus cyan is white. If you can see up at the top, we have cyan in the middle, right here in this zone. And we have red here, and red plus cyan make this white color. So this is what I call a two-dimensional gradient. I'm not sure if other people do this regularly, but I've discovered this fairly recently, maybe 1 month ago. I would like to have shown you this method. What else? The last two things I just noticed that I have past the 1 hour mark is blending modes with pictures. You can kind of see that we've done quite a lot, but I've rambled a bit at the start as I usually do, and I don't think that I'm gonna stop doing that, unfortunately. I guess I just can't really help myself, but I think that if I could have stopped it. But anyways, pictures. We have never touched a picture during this entire time with the tutorials. And I find that pretty strange because a lot of graphic designers, if you think, oh, this is what I was actually experimenting with this earlier, and honestly, I think this is a lesson that I should share as well, just as I have the time and space. Let's just search up a picture of a sunset. I literally did it just like what's it called? I used literally this picture. So let's copy this image and then go back to gravit. Let me push this back to the side and Control V to paste the image. You can kind of see that this is a bit high quality. If I press original size, it's probably gonna blow up. If I make this smaller, you can kind of see that it allows for distort. No? That's strange. On the web version, it allows for distorting, so just press shift to make it not distort, I guess. I don't think I'll have the space for this. Let me move around some objects. I'll move this down here. Move this up here. Move all this to the right. It's getting a bit cramped, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing because you're learning something, I guess. So I guess that's a good thing. So we have this image and we want to make it look cool. So let's have an image on top of it, a rectangle the same exact size. And let's change this to difference. Or subtract? I think it's subtract. Whoa, what? What the hell? That's so strange. Why is it like that? And Control Shift down. Let's see if that fixes that. That's not fixing anything. Let's change the color. Okay. This is so weird. Why? Okay, let's turn this to normal. And back to subtract. This is so weird. You know what? I'm not gonna bother with this. I'll bother with this on phase 4. Uh, and hopefully I get it all figured out then. Let's just place our objects that we've made so that it's kind of like a gallery or something. Make it more presentable. This is very beautiful, so it deserves a lot of space. This is quite nice to look at as well, so I can just push this up as well. And maybe make this a bit more shown. Just turn this up. And I think that's it. So, the recap. We didn't get to do pictures because there was some weird glitching going on. It usually doesn't do that. I remember having a problem like that before. I honestly don't know what's going on with the engine, but only the people who make gravit really know. See, it auto saves for you now. It used to not do that. It's so nice of them. So what did we learn? We learned about we reviewed broken waves. Oh, this is kind of like an extension. Text and turning text into paths. This is a compound path. Tessellations and putting them into bounding boxes. Well, clipping masks. Wait, no, what's it called? Yeah, clipping boxes. I have no idea the technical term for it. The difference shader and just putting it on top of things. The RGB and CMY color spaces, basically. Generative smoothing. What's this called? The one where you just take something and you flip it, and I don't know what it's called, but you learn that. You learn skewing here, you learn skewing here, you learn skewing here. You also learned about moving around points on this one just by changing the angle around. The isometric grid. And how to deal with interference on this and this. Gradients that go in both dimensions. And stitching on this one, and basically transformations in this one. I think that we've covered a lot, honestly, and I think that stage 4, let me show you it's here. You really don't learn that much. It's more of a review. And for this little star thing, we kind of go out of the program, and we go out of the program to fix something. But other than that, I'm pretty sure you can learn a lot of this stuff on your own. I'm not sure if you could figure this stuff out or this stuff, or maybe this or this on your own. But a lot of the stuff, honestly, you can probably figure out right now. Uh, so this thing I made just because it was like a popular thing and someone requested it. You can kind of see that these pieces are the same, teach the same thing as this. It's just clipping. Uh, just leave the page. There is nothing. Oh my god! I accidentally. Oh my god. Whatever. I think that's it. Yeah, I think we've covered a lot today, and I'm really grateful that you've decided to stick along with the ride, just watching my tutorials. I'm really grateful for that. Uh, I'm not sure what else to say, but save your work, and have a nice night. Again, my name is Clement Lee. I'm a graphic designer, and this has been phase 3 out of 4 of the Gravit Designer tutorials.